I am Jeffrey.
I am Nosdan.
And would like to welcome you to Real Conversations. This is actually our first episode. It's been a long time coming, right?
Absolutely, man.
we talked about having this podcast, I think a year and a half ago. And we did our best to ensure we could come up with something, but we couldn't. But I think we met last week and we said we have to make this work. And here it is. So we're very excited to welcome you. This is the first episode, and we hope you're inspired from our conversations, because that's essentially the goal of this podcast. Really want to inspire people. We're going to be having real conversations about a lot of very, very important topics.
Absolutely,
real topics. We're gonna be very organic. We don't want to make it look very rehearsed and scripted. We're just going to talk. We're perhaps just going to be. We just want to connect with you guys and ensure that the conversation really inspires you. That's really the goal. We just want to inspire people, and we want to make a difference and inspire people. So we really hope this podcast helps. Thank you, guys.
Welcome on board.
All right. So our first topic, our first subject of discussion is going to be on the importance and the power of intentionality. So we're going to expand on the topic. We're going to talk about perhaps the pros and cons of being intentional. Yeah, it's a lot of work, brother. My God, it can sometimes be exhausting to be intentional. So we're going to talk about, the different layers and sides to intentionality. We really hope this connects with you, and let us know, man. Let us know in the chat. Let us know in the comment section. Just reach out, man. We're very excited about this, and we hope this inspires you guys. Okay, so I think we had a conversation I said last week, right, on starting this and focusing on intentionality. So, what do you think, man, about the concept of intentionality itself?
It's funny, my brother, because I know you're laughing in your mind. I'm also laughing out loud because we've spoken. I feel like we've off camera, obviously, we've spoken so much about intentionality, and I don't know. It's something that it's needed. It's very needed to be very intentional, especially a time like this where everything is just fast paced. Everything is just fast paced at the moment. Social media, internet, it's crazy. And if you are not intentional with what's happening, when I talk about what's happening, I'm talking about issues generally about life, relationship, education, whatever. If you are not intentional about those things, I think you may just get lost.
I couldn't agree more. Remember, we talked about a certain important aspect of being intentional. We talked about intentionality regarding how you dress, how
Absolutely.
you speak. Someone said something. The person said, "How you do one thing is how you do everything," and I think it's very, very important. So, being intentional about how you dress, even being intentional about how you speak.
Absolutely.
It's very, very. I'm sure you also share your side to this, because we've had lots of conversations and we've met lots of people. Oftentimes, when I'm in certain environments, there are certain things I can't say, not because I don't really want to say. Just like, no, man, I can't just say this. What do you think about that?
You're right. Like, the word intentionality it's a total package. It's a very, very vast word, because when you want to be intentional, you have to look at every corners of it. The way that you speak, the way you talk, the conversations you should be in, the kind of people you should bring into a part of your life, right? Kind of even down to the food you eat. You have to be very intentional. So person will say, "Oh, I don't take this outside. I don't eat outside. I don't do." These are people putting checks into their life to give some sort of intentionality and meaning to their life. But then, we also talk about it. Intentionality comes with a lot of discomfort.
Absolutely.
It comes with a lot of discomfort, because not discomfort on your part. Let me give you an hypothetical situation, for example. If I'm trying to be very intentional about what I eat, for example, and people may tend to see that as maybe you're trying to be picky, one, or probably maybe there's this level of ego or something, maybe pride. People just want to coin it to those kind of words, and not knowing that it's just simply intentionality. Also, with the way you speak. So I have been in some certain conversation, for example, that I keep my mouth shut because not because I hate the people there or I can't speak. Of course, I have my opinion about issues, right? But it's very healthy at that moment not to speak,
to just
say a
listen,
word
just
and
listen. Yeah.
Because you saying a word is not going to do any good.
Absolutely.
But rather you listening will do more good than you speak.
Absolutely.
So you just keep. But people will see it as you haven't spoken in this conversation. So what's happening? Are you a very proud person? Are you a very so a lot of so that's where the discomfort comes into play. So people externalities tend to coin words on it and say, oh, probably this person is like this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, before you come, you talk about gossips and all of those things and
Oh,
stuff like that. So you could be in those environments and you don't want to say a word because that's not your value. That's not what you do. You are not coined from such stream to talk down on people. So when you are in such environment, sometimes you just keep your mouth shut because you don't want to be infiltrated. Is it that you leave? But then you understand that there are some places you just can't leave. You maybe due to the technicality of how so you just have to be there. But then keep your mouth shut because people may see it as though what is he trying to be? He's not even saying anything. We're the only ones that will talk. So people say he's a very proud person. He's a very egoistic person. So I think it comes to a lot of discomfort.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. I absolutely agree. Because oftentimes people don't understand that when you're very intentional about the kind of things you say in public and even in private, like you don't understand how powerful it can be and how it can actually model your future and your past.
Absolutely.
I always try as much as possible to be very intentional about the type of conversations I have with people. And when I see people trying to go personal and trying to gossip, it's just something I just really can't entertain. So, but like you said, brother, being very intentional can be very exhausting. And I think that's really the issue. Right?
Very, very exhausting, and I think it's because and what I think, and I'll let you hear your thoughts on it as well. I think the exhaustion comes from you paying attention to the discomfort.
What people think.
Absolutely. In basic terms, what people think. So if people think me, for example, people think you being for example, caring about what you eat, what you take into your system so much. If people think that's being egoistic, then I don't think you should care for it, or even care. You should care less, basically, because you know what you are taking in. This is a decision you've taken that I need to be careful about what I'm taking. I have to eat healthy, so I shouldn't be eating this back to back. I shouldn't be eating that. And you are outside or you are somewhere and they give you that, like, I'm sorry, no, I don't take this. And people see it as it's being ignored. I think you shouldn't care. You shouldn't care for it. Care about it, because the exhaustion comes from where you now start caring about what people think about my action.
Absolutely.
What people think about me being intentional. So I feel like it's a box filled with
difficult choices.
Maybe we want to find the balance, but I think it's difficult to find the balance.
I agree. Yeah. I agree. It can be very difficult to find the balance. I absolutely agree. But it's very, very tricky. But I think one of the questions lots of people watching would have is why the need to be intentional? Is there a need if it's very exhausting, if it's very tiring? What's the need? I think answering that question is heavy, man. I think it's quite difficult, but I think oftentimes people forget that we just have one life. Like, this is it. This is not testing the mic. Like, this is it. This is it. Once we are done here, we're done. We're done. There's no coming back. And so I think when people ask why they need to be intentional, my response is like, why not? This is it. Like, this is the life we have. Why not wake up every day with a plan?
Absolutely.
Why not have actual friends that really care about you? Not be worried about your friends saying horrible things behind your back. I see that a lot.
Yeah.
Of people saying, "Oh, I don't know how that guy. I don't know how that guy would talk about me when he goes to that environment. I don't know how that woman will speak about me when she goes there." I see that fear, and it's very, very strange. So when people say, "Why be intentional? Like, why not? Why not have the right friends? Why not be intentional about having the right circle of friends? Why not be intentional about the type of relationships that you get
into,
in?"
yeah.
I'm telling you, man, like, why live like that when there's a credible alternative? Yes, the alternative is stressful. Yes, the alternative is sometimes exhausting, but there's a comfort that comes with that option.
Yeah.
The option of being intentional, about picking the right people as friends, about picking the right partner, about being intentional about how you look, about how you speak, about how you dress, about how you interact with people.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think, man? What do you think? Because oftentimes I get that question, like, "Come on, man! Like, I mean, you're just telling me it's exhausting. So why go that route?" What do you think?
I think it begs the question: why should I be in the right circle then? If it's exhausting, so why shouldn't I be? Why shouldn't I be a circle of people who actually understand? So we are smart people, we're smart individuals. We know where we should be. We know where we shouldn't be. We know people we should talk to. We know people we should not segregating. This is not about segregating or feeling superior. No, not at all. Not at all. Like we just made mention of conversation we should be in. Like personally, there are some conversations that are not healthy for me. I back out completely. It's not healthy. Doesn't mean I hate whatever, but it's not healthy. So it's intentional for me to just back out and not be in such spaces. Right? It's also intentional and healthy for me to not be amongst some kind of energy. Then, like I said, it begs the question: why shouldn't I be in the right place as well? If it's exhausting, so if I know this is exhausting, right? So why should I create my own? I don't even know what I'm trying to say. So why should I speak with people that I know that will promote my intentionality? When people say it's exhausting to be intentional, then I just say, okay, why not now fix it?
I agree.
Fix it and create an environment.
Yeah,
for yourself.
we talked about perhaps how people conceptualize success. The best conceptualization of success is knowing that it's work.
Yeah.
People always have this dreamy way of seeing things. Oh, this is how it's going to be, or it has to be like this.
Perfect picture.
Yeah, a perfect picture. But people often forget that getting that perfect picture is work.
Absolutely.
Success is work.
Yeah.
So if you want to be successful at anything, like truly successful at anything, it requires a certain level of work. But I really think being intentional is the best bet. I'm not saying it's not stressful, it's not exhausting, but I believe it's the best bet because you actually get what you want. Like when you get something, you know that this is what I want.
And the idea of intentionality actually birth the ability to relearn, unlearn, relearn, because you are giving yourself the opportunity to grow. In life, general intentionality is very key. Intentionality is very key. And for young ones who probably in their teens and 20s, I want to say this: you're in your 20s. We're not limiting this session to younger generation. It's for everybody, basically. Everybody has a right to intention.
Absolutely.
If you are at age 50, and you feel it just dawned on you that you've not been intentional for a while, you're not late.
Absolutely.
You're not late. You could start being intentional. And what does it take? Just personal decisions to say, oh, I want to be intentional about this relationship with this person. I want to be intentional about my books. I've not been intentional about my books since, but I want to be intentional. I want to keep a schedule, right? If it's 12 p.m. for my studies till 3 p.m., let it be so. Those are just little ways of keeping intentionality. If I'm going to call my fiance by 2, and this is what I want to be doing for her, this is what XYZ, that's intention. Just making sure that you are very intentional about things. There's no loophole. There's no place that maybe externalities can come in and just change you all of a sudden. But those loopholes are meted. So you're intentional about stuff. And sometimes people think intentionality means you just being rigid. You're not open to
That's good. That's
advice
good.
and suggestions.
That's
No.
good.
If you have that mentality, no, that's totally wrong. That's now being extreme. Intentionality doesn't mean you are not open to advice or suggestions or you're above anybody. No, absolutely no. Intentionality simply means you just putting some of your priorities, some of the things you hold dear to yourself, right? If you hold your marriage dear to yourself, I think it should be something you should be intentional about.
Absolutely.
If you hold your books very dear to you, I think it's something you should be intentional about.
Mm.
If you also things that you've classified as very dear to you, just being intentional about it and making sure, just like your faith. Tomorrow is Sunday, absolutely. So you are intentional about going to church tomorrow as a worker to serve God and also to praise Him and worship Him. That's intentionality. We could just be sleeping and say, you know what, let's just. I mean, when we feel comfortable to go, but then we've taken it as our faith to be we're intentional with our faith. We're not joking. But we want to live a life of service to God and to humanity as well. So we're intentional. Right. So that's why we take this as our faith the way we are. We're always in church for Bible studies, always in church for prayer meetings, cell meetings, mass. Those are the things that we're into. So it means now transposing that idea now into other smaller units of life. My books, my education, my relationship, my health, my feeding habits, my whatever. Just transposing them into those various units of life.
I couldn't agree more. And I think one of the questions that we often ask, we ask this particular question every time is, man, how can we make this work?
Yeah.
How can we make this work?
Yeah.
Like, we recognize, of course, there are issues, there are several things that will make doing that thing a bit more complicated. But the goal is, how can I make this thing work?
Yeah.
I read something a couple of, I think that was about 2 or 3 years back. And what the person said, but the person is a psychologist, and the person said, okay, think about the best picture possible. This is the best picture I want regarding my relationships, regarding my faith, regarding how I talk, regarding how I communicate, regarding how I invest.